This year, Olympiad will be during the rain season in India. So, as for me, it will be no optical observations at all. For us, it was a bit longer to reach Nepal, for example, than for team from Colombia. I am not trying to teach them just to solve tasks, but I am trying to teach them to find the best ways of solutions. Hello to everyone, my name is Andrii Simon, and really I am a teacher in Ukrainian Physics and Mathematics Lyceum of Shevchenko National University of Kyiv, and I have position of assistant professor in the same university on Department of Astronomy and Space Physics. As for me, we really have some difficulties connected with the current war state, but we still trying to work to do our best things that we can, especially for our students in school and in university also. And depending on situation, we're trying to continue, as for me, to continue our astronomical observations on our observation station as long as possible. We had some difficulties, for example, with observations because of electricity shutdowns, because without electricity we have no possibility to point telescope, to get any images. Also air alerts and other attacks are influence on our teaching process in schools. But in our Lyceum we have a shelter for all students, and when it is air alert, we go to shelter and can continue our lessons there. The only problem, it's not the best place for teaching, and we have some interruption just to go to move there, so it's 5-10 minutes. Now we have maybe much more bigger problem with people in science, with people who can teach students, with teachers, because some amount of people or moved abroad or now in army, so we have very big limitations in people, and until I can do my job, I will do it. After 2022, after full invasion, full-scale invasion, it becomes much more difficult to go to the Olympiad and to take part in the International Olympiad. For example, in 2013 we had Olympiad in Greece, and in the same place we had Olympiad in 2023. And the way from Ukraine to location of the Olympiad, it was maybe 5 hours in 2013 and 2.5 days in 2023. So now we had huge problems with logistic. So firstly we need to go, for example, to Poland, and then flights to the location. And all this affect and students, also team leaders, because when we arrive we are very tired, and the other thing that during the Olympiads you are not in Ukraine, you don't feel the presence of war, no air alerts, everything is peaceful, no curfew from one side. But from the other side, you always try to check news, to check information, because my wife, my children live in Kyiv, we are worrying about them. So it's like a social part. But from the other hand, if in such conditions we had a possibility, or our students had a possibility to win some medals, some good diplomas, that they have a possibility to show good results, it's just very excellent for us. We are proud, first of all, of our students. I don't know if you know about this. To take part in Ukrainian team, students should not only have Ukrainian passport. They should live in Ukraine. We have selections for the international team, and these selections, students should be on person for these selections. And so if you have Ukrainian passport but now live and study in Germany, Poland and so on, you have no possibility to be included in this team, because you need to be in person. All our trips started from Kyiv, and students officially should be here. In this case, we can go to the Olympiad. Other case, you can participate from Ukraine, but independently, and this participation will not be supported by Ministry of Education of Ukraine. Now we have two international Olympiads, International Olympiad on Astronomy and Astrophysics and International Olympiad on Astronomy and Astrophysics for juniors. The specific of studying astronomy in Ukraine is such that students have astronomy lessons only 1 year just before they should enter, and just before the last year of the school. But students which participated in Junior Olympiad should be at least 2 years before ending the school. So they have no possibility to get any knowledge from the school, such like in mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology and other subjects. So all these preparations are only because students want to study astronomy, it's interesting, and because we have specific teachers all over Ukraine who can prepare such students. It's like one side of the question. Another side of the question is that Astronomy Olympiad is a specific Olympiad, maybe the only Olympiad where we have observational round, and observational round can be with telescopes. Like ideally it should be telescopes, clear sky, and you can observe, but not always it's possible. For example, this year we plan to have Olympiad in India, but it became maybe very huge Olympiad, and during last maybe 5 years we started to have some restrictions on number of teams which can be hosted by host country. In Astronomy and Astrophysics Olympiad, it is possible to have 2 teams from one country. It can be main team and it can be guest team. For guest team, you should pay some additional money for their staying on the site, like additional payments. But during last maybe 3 years, host countries told that we have opportunity to host only 50 teams or 65 teams. We have no possibilities to host more students, more team leaders, more people. So this year we will have no possibility to have guest team. So all country will have only main team up to 5 students. And these problems with hosts, with possibility to locate people, have another side. Countries which host Olympiad trying to find more cheaper season conditions. Anyway, the hotel, the location are very specific. They need one time place hundreds of students in one location that they need to make their tasks. And also it should be one hotel in which all people will live. And that is why they're trying to find more comfort conditions, financial conditions for them. And this year Olympiad will be during the rain season in India. So as for me, it will be no optical observations at all. It's impossible because cloudy sky, always rain, and very low probability that students will work with telescopes. That is why they will propose another kind of activities. It can be observations with telescopes, but for example on stadium with big screens, or it can be observations or just work with telescope and how to point it or how to prepare it for night observations. Also it can be, and it was practiced on previous Olympiads, like observational round with planetarium. It's not the same as night sky, but with planetarium you can examine students on their knowledge of constellations, solar system bodies, or distant galaxies. It's also possible, and also in planetarium you can use not only the sky of that location, you can change it. Now you can change even not location on the Earth, you can change the planet and show the sky of Mars, of Venus, or other planet. And also it can be around with like blind map, where you have map and some dots like stars, and you need to put some lines, to put constellations border, to sign names of star, or to find a missing star, or find a planet, different kind of tasks. And all these tasks can appear during the observational round. And before you come into the Olympiad, you don't know what can be. For this year, we can predict that it will be no clean sky, but it can be. So it can be planetarium, telescope without clear skies, and some other activities. Also, not every host town have a good planetarium. And last year in Brazil we have a tour with an inflatable planetarium, and that is why we decided to ask your fund to support us, to have a possibility to teach students to work inside of such planetarium. Because if it used once, then during the next Olympiads it can be normal practice to use it. It's much more easier to find like a big hall where you can install this planetarium than prepare good sky. It will be more cheaper than rent hotel during the hot season when sky is great. common things that can be applied not only to astronomy but to all other Olympiads. Participation in Olympiad, it's not only about solving tasks. You can show that you can solve tasks, it's very good, it's perfect, but you can meet with participants from 65 countries. You can start to communicate with them. You can meet with all these participants, have their leaders, team leaders, who also work in astronomy. And if you want to be involved in astronomy, if you want to study astronomy in future, you will have, after Olympiad or during Olympiad, you can establish good connections with your future colleagues all over the world, and you can establish a good connection with some teachers, professors from other countries who can help you, support you, to give some advices and so on. And so it's like a good push up in your astronomy career. In normal world, it was communications about life, about different scientific programs, about preparation to Olympiads, about government support of Olympiad, of students of astronomy, and how people work with this, what programs they have, for example, which can be used by us and by them. So maybe about some collaborations and so on. Also, we have maybe International Astronomical Union. It's like for all astronomers of the world, and during the Olympiad, among team leaders, maybe huge amount or huge percentage of persons are members of this astronomical union. We can communicate about astronomy all over the world, about how to develop it, how to maybe about some new scientific programs and so on. And now when we arrive to Olympiad, many people asked about what is the current situation in Ukraine, how we can live in this, what can be in future, our vision of this, asking about some details. So on, like a funny moment then when we compare time for us to reach, for example, for Nepal, and for us it was a bit longer to reach Nepal, for example, than for team from Colombia. From South America to Nepal, it's quicker than from Ukraine. So such questions. And but from the other side, our work on Olympiad, when we arrive to Olympiad, after opening ceremony, students give to us all their phones, notes, laptops, iPads, all communication devices. And after that, till the last round, they had no possibility to communicate with the world. No possibility. Just because they didn't receive any tasks before the round. And after that moment, we as a team leaders started to work with tasks. We saw the tasks one day before. We work with these tasks. We need to agree all the tasks to be sure that not only solution but like text of the tasks and its solution are correct. and that we can give these tasks for our students and hope that they will solve it in correct way, because sometimes it can be text of the tasks written in one way and solutions that provided by author in another way. It's very difficult when students started to solve like written in the text, but the guys who check will check according to author's solution. So we need to check that everything should be fine, okay, and after that to translate tasks. So our students will receive tasks in Ukrainian, but usually we give them Ukrainian and English copy. And on some Olympiads it can last till morning of the next day. So not too much time for communications, just work. But also after all tasks translated, prepared, after moderation round, because on this Olympiad moderation made by team leaders, not by students. During moderation we have 15 minutes for 5 students for example, one big task or 2 or 3 smaller tasks. And it's also a good challenge for us to do. But before moderation, we need to check our students' copies of our students' works, and it's also need many time. That is why we are trying to involve, when it is possible, some additional persons to our team. They have a status like observers, but this time we hope that our student of our university, but in the past she had a gold medal from the International Olympiad on Astronomy and Astrophysics. And we plan she will work with us this year in India to make more work and a little bit quicker. I can tell you what I am trying to teach students. I am not trying to teach them just to solve tasks, but I am trying to teach them to think about tasks, to find the best ways of solutions. I'm trying to say them that usually you have known not only one way to solve these tasks, and we have some specific preparations for the Olympiads. So to be the winner of the Olympiad, you shouldn't solve all the tasks. You just need to collect as much points as possible. So if you can to do at least something in this task, you should do this small thing, but it will be your contribution to this task, and you will receive your points from this. And I hope that this helps students to find their place in future, to find their job where they will be the most comfortable and they will like or love what they do. Not all students after Olympiads became astronomers. But most of them have connections with astronomy. They're trying to follow what happened, and for example, when I'm trying to maybe some days ago, when I asked for help for our militaries, a lot of students donated, helped, and asked, what can I do for you, or how we can help for you for education, not only for military but also for education.